Hello and welcome to 18th August Forex Lender Session live stream. All right. So first of all, we will look at what we are anticipating today in gold and in GBP JPY. First of all, if we look at GBP JPY, the current monthly candle flipped bullish, but it got rejected from highs. If we look at weekly candle, the weekly candle created lower wick first and then moved up. It got rejected from both the upside and from downside. If we look at daily candle, the previous daily candle closed bullish. It is high probability for current daily candle to break above its own high and continue pushing up. I am anticipating the current daily candle will flip bullish. And if I look at 4-hour time frame, we created a resistance yesterday. I was anticipating sells in GBP JPY. That's why I executed these shorts, but it got stuffed out, and later on we dropped like 40 pips from this area. But I guess this is the way things are. And if I look at hourly candle has done a fake out below 162.500 area. Now our bias was buys. Now we will look to see if we can execute some good trades that do a breakout of 162.700 area. If we look at M30, in M30 we have done a fake out below 162.300 area, 400 area. We moved back inside the range. We need to wait for candles to close, and we may execute buys in GBP JPY to fill this range of almost 50 pips, but we want these candles to close. And if I look at gold, just by looking at monthly, the monthly candle has created an upper wick in first 18 days of August, and there is very high probability we will at least fill half of the wick to the left of previous week a monthly candle. And if we look at weekly, the weekly candle has broken below the low of previous weekly candle, and it is strong bearish at this point. 2 days left in this weekly candle to close. Alright, let's look at news if we have any news. Alright, we don't have any news for these 2 days. And if I look at daily time frame, the previous daily candle closed strong bearish, but at 1760 support area. So we will look to see how current daily candle will react on this area, and we may get to execute a trade later on. If we look at 4-hour time frame, the previous 4-hour candle closed bearish but above 1761 area. So we are not sure if the current 4-hour candle will do a breakout below 1760 area to potentially keep pushing down. But we are also open for buys. We will look for buys in smaller time frame. If we look at hourly time frame, so if we look at price action, we have four candles closing in the range of around 13-15 pips. So what we will do, we will wait for current H1 candle. We will look to see if it is creating an upper wick of current H1 candle to potentially keep pushing down till 1756. If we look at, this is around 40 pips of range. So what we will do, we will just wait at least for now. And if we look at GBP JPY, we are just waiting. We are waiting for current 15-minute candle to close. We are looking for buys in GBP JPY, but at the same time, we also want better execution with smaller stop loss. And if we look at gold, for gold we need to break below these areas, below 1760 to continue pushing down in this 40 pips range. But we are also open for buy trades. Buys will be valid above 1771 area. So we are just waiting. If we look at GBP JPY, we have broken above previous 4M15 candles, but we want this M15 candle to close so that we can execute trade on next M15 candle. Because if we look at smaller time frame, in M30 time frame, we can see we have no bullish candles, and this candle came out of nowhere after a fake out, so we need to wait for this candle to close. At least one 15-minute candle, once it closes bullish and the next 15-minute candle creates a lower wick first, then we will execute buy position by placing a stop loss maybe below this wick, which is around 27 pips. For that we need to wait for current M15 candle to close. Right, we have a trade setting up in GBP JPY. We want this candle to close. Once it closes on next 15-minute candle, we will execute buy position. Once that creates a lower wick first. In the meantime, I am anticipating that in gold, if we look at this price action, the previous 1 hour candle closed below all the lows to left, and it is possible that current hourly candle is creating an upper wick first to continue pushing down and probably break below these lows to continue pushing down till 1756. So we need to wait for at least 7 more minutes for these candles to close. This candle is around 27 pips, but still it is, I will say, tradable. But on next M15 candle, once that creates a lower wick first, then we will execute a trade. If I look at gold, we are waiting for current 15-minute candle to close. If it closes the way it is now, we can execute a position below 1760, placing a stop loss of 20 pips to potentially secure 20 pips from this trade. But we need to wait for M15 candle to close. GBP JPY has covered all this range in just one M15 candle. There is nothing that we can do at this point. We want this candle to close, and on next candle maybe we get to execute a trade. Alright, the candle is about to close. We want a lower wick on this M15 candle first. We are waiting for lower wick on current M15 candle and we will execute position later on. Alright, I have placed my buy stop. Its Once the candle break above its on the high, I will execute this trade by placing a stop loss of 15 pips. I am anticipating that we will get 20 to 25 pips from this trade. Alright, trade got active. Place a stop around 15 pips, around 5 US dollar risk on this trade, and place a take profit somewhere around here. We are also concerned about these highs. this zone, but just by looking at volume, just by looking at thing that we have done a fake out below previous zone, I am anticipating that we can continue pushing up. If I look at gold, I was anticipating that current M30 candle will break below these areas and continue pushing down, but just by looking at volume, it seems like we will not move down on current M30 candle, so we will just wait. Need to wait for 9 more minutes. We are looking to see how current M15 candle will close. On the other hand, if we break below current M15 candle low, we will close most of our positions. Alright, we are just waiting for now. Our position is now in drawdown, but we are waiting for current 15-minute candle to close. We are waiting for this M15 candle to close, which is closing in about few minutes. I have placed my stop loss below this M15 candle, low, which basically means that I am not anticipating that we will break below this M15 candle low if we are to move up. But since anything can happen, we can move down from here, so we will get stopped out if things go against us. So that's pretty simple. All right. Since we didn't close the way I wanted candles to close, so I have closed percentage of my position and I will re-add back risk once we break above these highs. Other than that, I will just wait. And if we look at gold, the previous hourly candle closed bullish and and we are waiting in gold at least for now. All right, the trade is now in little bit profits, but I closed half of my position once. All right, 7 position is now active. Placed a stop loss of 16 pips. And if we are to move up, there is no business for candles to come and hit our stop loss, and we will just hold these positions. We will look to see how prices react on at this area 162.900 area. 163 will also be a psychological number, and if we look at our second position just got activated by spread and it never went in profits, so we will keep that in mind. And yeah, we will only let these positions run. We will not re-add any more positions, and nor we will take some percentage off of these positions once we break below 162.700 area. Other than that, we will just let them run. And if we look at gold, there is nothing that I can recognize so far in gold. Alright, GBP JPY is pushing up, but the whole question is, will it come till our take profit point? We will look to see that. And we will wait. The H4 candle has flipped all the way bullish and H4 candle will close in 53 minutes. So I guess we are good. We shouldn't break below these lows, else this setup will be invalid. Alright, the previous M5 candle closed bearish at support, but it is just an M5 candle. And yeah, we need to wait a little bit more in here. That's what we can do. Alright, 15-minute candle has closed. It has closed bullish above the zone, and it makes sense for current 15-minute candle to create a lower wick first and then continue pushing up in this zone. But remember, anything can happen. But remember, anything can happen, and I am also a beginner trader. So I hope you take a risk on your account that suits your account size. I am I will still hold these trades. My stop loss is around 4-5 US dollars on these trades, and I am anticipating once we break above previous candles high, we can continue pushing up. And if I look at M30, M30 is bullish. Hourly candle has created a low and it is moving up. So for now, we don't know where prices can move. And on the other hand, I am also anticipating that we will respect this M5 candle low. Let's see what happens next. And we will just wait in GBP JPY now. And in gold, my bias is sells in gold, but I am waiting for more confirmations. It is GBP JPY. I am anticipating we will not break below these lows. That's where I have placed my stop loss. If we break below this M5 low, previous M5 candle low, I just want to get out of my positions. And it seems like we will break below these lows, but it's okay for me. Alright, we are about to get stopped out on these positions. We have, yeah, we got stopped out. Lost around 1 US dollars on these trades. And I don't know the reason why we are rejecting, because we have broken above this area and it makes sense for current 15-minute candle to continue pushing up. But since that didn't happen, we are out of our position. It was very minor loss, but it is still a loss. And now we will just wait. These trades went in, second trade went in the 8 pips profit, first trade went in like 15-16 pips in profit. And it is not enough, I will say, for as per my risk management method. I want to secure at least 12 to 16 pips on these trades. So GBP JPY we got stopped out. Now in GBP JPY there is nothing, and we need to wait. If we look at gold, in gold we are consolidating in this range which is around 56 pips of range. We need to break below 1760 area for sells. In gold we need to break below 1760 area for sells. For now we are just consolidating starting from previous 16 hours. We need some sort of volume for prices to break below 1760 area in an anticipation that we are moving down. Other than that, we will just wait. In GBP JPY, we will not execute any position, not buys nor sells. H4 candle is about to close in 22 minutes, so maybe we are waiting for that H4 candle to close. That's why maybe we are consolidating, so we need to wait to see if actually that's the reason. Nothing in gold, and in GBP JPY, the M30 candle has closed bullish, but it is a small body M30 candle. Now we need to wait. We may call it a London session and come back later in New York session for more execution, because it seems like London session is very slow today. Now we are breaking above M50 candle high, but we will not execute. We gave this trade two chances. That doesn't play it out. There is no or very little volume in gold. In GBP JPY in M15 time frame, we are breaking above previous candle high. But if we look at higher time frame, the trend seems to be dying down. The volume is very low. So I will just stay away from GBP JPY now, and I will come back later in New York session, and maybe then we can have some good trades. So at this point I will just call it a London session, and we'll see you guys later in New York session.